Francisco Vargas, and you'll see the 7-year age advantage for Berchelt, who, by the way, is a machine jabber. He wants to throw 35 or 40 jabs per round. A 1-inch height advantage for El Bandito. A 1-inch arm length advantage for Berchelt. They both weighed in under the 130-pound limit. They've rehydrated almost equally. Maybe a 2-pound unofficial weight advantage on our HBO scale going into the ring for Vargas.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are set to go. Our main event of the evening, making his way to the ring first, fighting out of the blue corner, the challenger from Mérida, Yucatán, Mexico, Miguel Berchelt.
Well, Miguel Berchelt was, I mentioned earlier in the telecast, a kind of an understudy on the Mexican Olympic team at the time when Vargas was one of the stars. Roy Jones, how does that impact psychologically the first round of the fight?
Well, psychologically, what Bandito has to do is go out there and make him understand that, look, you are the young guy on the team. I was the older guy on the team. I'm the big brother. You're the little brother. I'm not ready yet to relinquish my spot to you. So right away, he has to go out and make him remember, you're the little guy or the young brother. I'm the big guy. I'm the older brother.
Berchelt is from Cancun, Mexico. And Max, that's a resort town. Vargas is from Mexico City, where there are a lot of boxers and a lot of people to spar with. Does that automatically mean that Vargas has the higher quality preparation background?
It indicates that it's probably true, but careful, because some of the best fighters in boxing history didn't come from as impoverished backgrounds as a lot of the fighters that they beat.
Right, like Louisville, Kentucky is not exactly the dregs.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, set to make his way to the ring, fighting out of the red corner, the undefeated WBC Super Featherweight World Champion, Francisco Vargas.
Max, we've seen in the past how fighters like Arturo Gatti, Carmen Basilio, because of the way they fight, can become marketable stars whether they win or lose. Is Vargas a guy whom fans are now so in love with, and it almost doesn't matter whether he wins or loses?
Yes, but it helps to win. And Vargas's style is extremely fan-friendly, or he wouldn't have been in consecutive fights of the year. And by the way, one of those years won Fighter of the Year, right? But it's more than that for Gatti. Gatti had a personality that also seemed to connect with the crowd. And Vargas so far hasn't shown that kind of charisma outside the ring to connect with the audience. He's going to have to do it exclusively through these kind of amazing action fights.
If Roy Jones, he should choose at some point to extend his career and fight a little bit smarter. Does he have boxing skills on which he could fall back, and will he use them?
He does have them, but will he use them? No.
Let's go to Joe Martinez for the official introductions.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, live around the world on HBO's Boxing After Dark from Fantasy Springs Resort Casino here in Indio, California. This is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing, this scheduled for the WBC Super Featherweight Championship of the World. Presented by Oscar de la Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions in association with Zanfer Promotions. Sponsored by Tecate, Born Bold, and Casa Mexico Tequila, it's in the taste. Sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, the Executive Officer, Andy Foster. Supervised by the WBC President, Mauricio Suleiman, and WBC Supervisor in attendance, Lee Peters. Your 3 judges scoring this bout at ringside of the 10-point must system are Ray Danseco, Hubert Min, and Zachary Young. When the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Raul Caiz Jr. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the world is ready. Indio, California, make some noise if you are ready! Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black with gold, he weighed officially 129 3/4 pounds. This veteran of 31 professional bouts holds a record of 30 victories. Just one defeat, 27 big wins coming by way of knockout. Presentando el hijo de Mérida, Yucatán, Mexico, the former WBO interim super featherweight champion. Here is the Scorpion, Miguel El Alacrán Berchelt. And next his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing red trunks, he weighed in 129.5 pounds. In 25 bouts, he stands perfect with 23 victories, no defeats, 2 draws, 17 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the undefeated, reigning, defending WBC Super Featherweight Champion of the world, el orgullo del Distrito Federal México, el invicto Francisco Bandido Vargas.
Let's go fighter chief second only, please. Everybody out the ring. Fighter chief second. Let's go fighter chief second. Raul, let's get him over here. Protector. Se le pone, por favor. Protector. All right, gentlemen, you received the instructions in the dressing room. Know what I expect? A good, clean fight. Caballeros, ya recibieron las instrucciones. Quieren una pelea limpia. Legal punches, here for you. Legal punches, here for you. Touch gloves, luck to both of you. Buenos los dos.
Berchelt is a young, talented fighter. He's busy. He can punch, but we don't know if he can compete at this level. We know Vargas can compete and thrive at this level. The question is, how many more fights like the ones against Miura does he have in him?
Listo. Listo.
Taps. Round one begins. What could be a tremendous matchup, and instantly you can see that both these fighters are significantly faster than Takashi Miura and Mickey Roman.
Much faster. Both of them have quicker feet. Both of them have probably a little bit more of a celebrated amateur career. So they come from the same area. They both know each other. They knew they had to be quicker to face one another because they both know how quick the other guy is.
I would say both have significantly faster hands, too.
Of course they do.
But nevertheless, both are power punchers. Particularly Berchelt, with 27 knockouts among his 30 wins. Early left hand to the body by Vargas. Goes back to the body with the jab. Berchelt has not yet started the machine gun jab rhythm that he wants to establish. Right hand across the top for Francisco Vargas. Berchelt working the jab now, begins to land it.
Good thing about Berchelt is we haven't seen a right hand yet. So we don't know what he's really
Hasn't
packing.
unveiled it.
Yes, we don't know what's really packing in that right hand.
Whereas Vargas is throwing with both hands. There's the right hand over the top by Berchelt.
Answered by Vargas.
Vargas is using timing to destroy Berchelt's timing so far, keeping Berchelt honest offensively.
Hard jab lands for Berchelt right under Vargas's chin.
Good body
Good
shot.
body with an uppercut following it straight up to the head by Vargas. Right hand lands for Berchelt. Right hand lands again for Berchelt.
Berchelt just looks physically like the bigger guy.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the sting on the end of that right hand that I expected to see, Max.
Not so far.
Not so far. He hasn't been here before, and he looks like he's surveying the landscape a little bit. Vargas seems to be much more comfortable early.
But Vargas doesn't look really good on his legs right now either. I can't say he's more comfortable.
Oh, there's a right
That's
hand.
what I'm saying. He's not really out of the way of anything. Just that Berchelt is not as powerful as I wanted to see him. But Vargas doesn't look good tonight either. I don't know if it's because of the Mural fight or what.
That was a terrific first round. And I'll take the chance of saying that was the calm before the storm.
Breathe. Be sharp with the right. We worked on that, okay, son? Catch it with the lead hand, all right? Evade that. Pass that and then over the bottom, all right? Good? Keep your jab. Your jab is your weapon. You see how he's going backwards? He's going back. When you go pop that jab, follow through with that right, all right?
As I was speaking of Berchelt, he held that right hand until that point right there to make sure once he threw it, he was going to land it. So that was the first time I think he let the cat out of the bag.
Copy box numbers in round one. Vargas was 26 out of 84. Berchelt was 25 out of 58. So Berchelt threw a little bit less, but was more accurate. And Vargas threw more, which usually catches the eyes of the judges.
Maybe Vargas just had to warm up because now his legs look really good.
And they're both showing each other considerable respect after having tasted just a bit of each other in round number one.
Boy, when you didn't like his legs in the first round versus now, what difference do you see?
Well, they were a little lagging. They were like dragging. They weren't really bouncy. Right now they're snapping again. See, he has control. If you watch it right at the knees, you see his control. See that? Everything has control. At the end of that last round, they weren't having control. They were like sloppy, not really disciplined, I should say. When you see the legs aren't disciplined, it makes you worry about a fighter.
And you see greater precision now and crispness in his legs.
Much more discipline in his legs. A good body shot by Berchelt.
Body shot by Berchelt. Left hand as hammered Vargas against the ropes. Combination upstairs by Vargas. Lands another right hand. Berchelt comes back with a right hand and a left hook.
Vargas said that he,
hard right hand by Berchelt and the left hook. Moves Vargas around a little bit.
Yeah, that left hook certainly did move him. Vargas said his opponents don't get to really let the jab get untracked against him as Berchelt's trying, because he's always inside of the jab, Vargas claims.
Something I have not yet mentioned but should have. Miguel Berchelt in 31 fights has never been beyond the 6th round. If we see the 7th round here tonight, that'll be the first time Berchelt has ever tasted it.
I'll tell you what, Roy, if Berchelt can land that left hook on the chin, there won't be a 7th round.
You're exactly right, Max. He landed high and he throws a good left hook. Now I see what his knockout punch really is. It's not the right hand, it's the left hook.
Yep.
Sensational combination.
Oh,
here
that
by
hurt
Berchelt.
him.
Gets Vargas in trouble with a left hook. Vargas tries to come back immediately with the right. Left hook to the body by Berchelt.
Yes, his left
They're
hook.
going to war.
His left hook is what's dangerous, not his right.
Fight has broken out in the last minute of round number 2.
Good overhand by Bandito. That hurt Berchelt.
Certainly seems like it.
Yeah, that hurt Berchelt bad.
Great left hook by Berchelt. Momentarily backs Vargas off. And another big left hook by Berchelt. Tremendous 2nd round.
That was a great round.
Yesterday we asked both fighters who were their favorite Mexican fighters, and there they are. Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. on the left, Marco Antonio Barrero on the right. Two of the greatest of all time, both of whom have been in fights like what we're about to see, and they love it.
And seem to be appreciating it.
It's a little complicated, but we know that's the way it was going to be, son. Flex that waist. Fast jab. One fast jab, and then switch it up. Pop the jab, and then the other one switch it up.
Here you see Berchelt land a right uppercut, followed by a hook, good hook, and a right hand behind his toes jab that hurt Bandito. Then Bandito with the overhand right there that hurt Berchelt. Wow, what an exchange of punches.
Both fighters were hurt in the last minute of the second round, and now we go to round number 3.
That was an important shot for Vargas to land, Roy, because he needs to send the message, as you mentioned earlier, to Berchelt that, you know, it's not going to be easy like it is against lesser opponents. You can hurt me with something, I'm going to come back and show you I mean business.
Yeah, big brother don't go down like everybody else did.
I've been stressing it could be fight of the year quality. Together they landed 68 punches in the second round, and not many of the 68 punches were meaningless. Most of them were with something real on them. Berchelt is getting more and more confident against Francisco Vargas. We'll see if that bodes well for him or whether he's setting himself up to be counterpunched by a master. Great left hook to the body by Vargas. Comes back with a combination upstairs. Tremendous right hand by Vargas. Left hook just misses. Now Berchelt is going to try to rally back. Referee here is Raul Caiz Jr. By the way, we won't have the language barrier that we had in the last fight because Caiz Jr. speaks Spanish, which is the preferred language of both Berchelt and Vargas.
Berchelt sometimes reaches a little bit with the right hand, Roy, and kind of his chin winds up out in front of him, exposed.
Yeah, but he's so busy, Max, and he's smart, and he knows that. But since he knows that, he comes with the left jab right behind it, and that jab is usually the defense against the straight right hand. Good hook.
Left to the body and a left upstairs by Berchelt. Lands a right hand. Vargas was able to block his left hook. Now Vargas comes back with a left hook to the body. Right hand upstairs. They are trading shots with serious force. And a minute to go in the third.
This is why fans will continue to grow. The appreciation for Vargas will continue to grow, and Berchelt for that matter. These guys are not without skill, but they use their skill totally. They deploy it in order to hurt the other guy. They're making action with their skill.
Couple of possible comparisons. It looks a lot like Barrera Morales. It looks a lot like Israel Vasquez against Rafael Marquez. And all of those, that's 6 of them, or maybe 7 of them, great fights.
And this is those are some big shots by Berchelt upstairs.
Berchelt lands the left again. Momentarily turns Vargas's head. Left hook lands flush. Berchelt collects a lot of damage in the last minute of each round.
It's gotten Vargas' attention, that's for sure.
I think Vargas is going to have to figure out a way to take away the hook, Roy.
He is.
Wild energy in Indio. Two terrific 130-pounders going against each other with all offense so far. Puerto Rican superstar Miguel Cotto returns to the ring February 25. He'll be facing James Kirkland. Yes, he's reunited with longtime trainer Ann Wolfe. The night should provide fireworks. It's live only on HBO pay-per-view.
When he goes back, you throw everything. So, yes, push him back, but don't get too close, okay? Separate yourself and then you punch. Remember we talked about that?
He see Vargas landing an uppercut inside, left uppercut followed by a snapping overhand right. That was a great shot. Then you see Berchelt come back and land an overhand right followed by a right hand jab. Beautiful jab, probably his best punch of the round.
So we've had 3 terrific rounds already. Perhaps headed toward a memorable fight. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 3?
I'll tell you, Jim, I think we had 2 sensational fights tonight. I mean, the first one was incredible, and this one ain't no worse. I've got a 29-28, 2 rounds to 1. Miguel Berchelt. I thought that Fernando Vargas won the first round. You know, Berchelt just sort of was warming up, got started. But the last 2 rounds, Berchelt hit him so hard, he virtually had his head spinning, you know? It's amazing. He's really been landing some good hard shots, good left jabs, tremendous right hands. 2-1, Miguel Berchelt.
And that nickname used, Harold, Alaclan, means scorpion. He says when first it was applied to him by somebody in his camp, he wasn't all that crazy about it. Didn't really think it was a great nickname. Then his grandmother died, and she left him a small gold scorpion amulet to wear around his neck. And when he saw the scorpion amulet from his grandmother, he said, okay, I like the nickname. So it has stayed since then.
Bandito's eye, that right eye that you talked about, Jim, is really starting to open up a little bit.
Well, he was cut over and under the left eye against Takashi Miura, and then he was cut badly over both eyes against Orlando Salido.
Good right hand by Berchelt.
Talking about Francisco Vargas there.
In our big left hook.
Maybe the biggest shot of the fight.
In our first fight, Takashi Miura showed the difference between a contender and a champion, though there was no belt at stake. Vargas is going to have to show the same thing here to win this fight.
Good body shot by Berchelt.
Hard right hand up the middle by Berchelt. Knocks Vargas's head back. Vargas knows no other way than to fight fire with fire. Tries to come back with his own offense. Great body shot.
If Berchelt throws that left hook 3 or 4 inches lower, Roy, he's going to end this fight.
He sure is.
Great left hook to the body by Berchelt. Right hand lands upstairs. Left hook too. Now Vargas tries to come back again.
Vargas should work the body just a little bit more, Jim. He's looking tired. Maybe didn't take enough time off from that Miura fight because his body's not looking good to me.
You mean from the Salido fight last summer?
Yeah, I mean that.
Had 7 months since the Salido fight.
Yes.
Vargas knows he's found something with the left hook to the body. He went right back there.
That's right. That was a good shot for him.
Does it again. 3 straight left hooks to the body for Francisco Vargas.
And again,
that slowed Berchelt down tremendously.
This is work.
Yes, that has slowed.
Hard work by both fighters.
That has slowed Berchelt way down. Oh, good body shot by Berchelt.
Each round is better than the one that preceded it.
Terrific fight so far.
Vargas, all right, man. He's slowing down, son. You got to set him up now. Work on the middle. Relax, relax, breathe. Very good round, son. No blow. How you feeling? There's nothing here. There's no importance.
Here you see the headbutt right here, which causes a cut over the top of the left eye of Bandito, but the referee just said that the cut over the right eye was caused by a punch.
Copy box numbers as we get to the 5th of the scheduled 12. So far, Vargas has landed 102. Berchelt has landed 117. They have thrown an exactly equal number of punches in the fight. And both are landing at about a 50% rate.
I think Berchelt has landed better head shots, and Vargas has landed the better body shots.
Yeah.
You saw Vargas do what he had to do to stem the tide in that last round, where Berchelt was having success upstairs. Vargas found a hook to the body, saw that it did damage, went right back there and turned the tide late.
And needs to go back to the body now. And what we didn't expect to see is Berchelt doing a little boxing, Jim. He's using his legs.
Sudden change in strategy, or at least in tactics, by Miguel Berchelt. And Vargas's eyes are starting to look bad. He's got a bad cut above the left eye, and he's swelling around the right eye. Berchelt's face is holding up much better.
And maybe that's why he's using the legs now, to let a little bit of wear and tear set in. Oh, good body shot.
Berchelt, I think, is boxing because he doesn't want it in the body right now, and he wants to create some distance.
That could be the case, too. Oh, good body shot by Berchelt.
Great right hand, tremendous left hook to the body by Berchelt.
It really was, and it left a red mark on Vargas's right side.
Yep. Right there at the target where the liver is. That's where the red mark is, under the rib cage on the right side of Vargas's body. And he comes back firing. Vargas's eyes are starting to bleed onto Berchelt's back.
And you'll notice the same welts, Jim, on the right side of Berchelt's body from Vargas's left hook. Vargas's face is kind of bloody mess right now.
Great exchange.
Well, as for the welts on the right side of the body, no point in being a Mexican prize fighter unless you can prove it.
Oh. That.
This is time capsule stuff in Indio as we come to the end of round number 5.
Brutal.
Breathe. Give me the towel. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Deep breath. Deep breath. Come on, you gotta.
Let's take a look here at a shot of Francisco Vargas's left eye before the fight. Before the fight on the left side of the screen. Between rounds on the right side of the screen. So you can see that the cut opened up exactly in the place where the previous scar was. And we mentioned that he had 7 months off since the Salido fight, but those cuts were so deep and so big the night of the Salido fight that he might have taken 7 years off and the effect would still be the same. If you land a punch there, you're going to open it up.
Still going to open it up because of how deep and how bad the cuts were.
Now, in recent years, doctors have done scar tissue type surgeries where they scrape the scar tissue off and rebuild the area around the eyes, but that hasn't happened to Francisco Vargas.
Well, you know, legendary action fighters, this is how they're made.
Round, and once again, we make the point, Miguel Berchelt has never been past the 6th round in a professional prize fight.
This is how legendary action fighters' reputations are made. Back-to-back fights of the year in against a young, hungry, busy, power-punching, hard-to-discourage contender. Eye a bloody mess, been hurt in the body, been hurt upstairs. What does Francisco Vargas do from here?
Well, we know what he does from here, Max. We saw that against Takashi Miura. He continues to fight.
And he tries to find a way to turn the tide again.
And can he find a way to win?
Well, that's the question.
And can this young contender show that he's more than just a contender? Berchelt.
Carmen Basilio was the undisputed fighter of the year type star in the 1950s. Arturo Gatti earned that identity in the 1990s with war after war after war. Mickey Ward was that kind of a fighter. Emmanuel Augustus Burton was that kind of a fighter. Francisco Vargas is the 21st century version of all those guys.
Oh, good body shots. Oh, good exchange.
Carmen Basilio beat Sugar Ray Robinson. Arturo Gatti was never going to do anything like that, and neither is Francisco Vargas. This niche in boxing, I think, is reserved for the non-pound-for-pound top guys. the guys who are good enough to beat contenders and do it in this kind of fashion that leaves impressions for lifetimes with boxing fans.
Just to make the point that we've made before, most of the pound-for-pound top guys would never want to be in a single fight like this in their lives.
Wouldn't even want to watch it.
I remember when Vernon Forrest came to me a week after the first fight between Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward and said, why do people like that? Why do people even want to watch it? That's not boxing. I said, Vernon, that's fighting.
Matthew Sad Muhammad.
Yes.
Bobby Chacon.
Yeah, Berchelt is mounting a pretty good attack right now.
And Francisco Vargas, look at this. Taking these brutal shots.
19 seconds in which Berchelt finds out whether he's going to have to go to the 7th round for the first time in his life.
Doesn't seem to want to.
He sure doesn't.
One well-placed left hook from Berchelt. Roy could do it.
And that straight right-hand counter by Vargas might do it as well.
Breathe, breathe, breathe. First breathe, then the water. Relax, settle down. This fight is even. You hear? You have to do the same thing you just did now. That's what you have to do. How do you feel? Tell me, talk to me. I want to hear you. Good, good. That's the way. Move your head.
Here you see Berchelt, just like in round 1 and round 2, the overhand right, followed by this long jab right there that pushes Bandito's head way back.
So now as Miguel Berchelt goes into the 7th round of a fight for the first time in his professional career, we find out from Harold Letterman his unofficial estimate as to where Berchelt stands as he goes into this first 7th round. Harold, give us your
Jim, I just want to throw in this, the doctor that examined for Francisco Vargas was the well-known Dr. Paul Wallace, one of the best boxing doctors in the world. Now, 4 rounds to 2, 58-56, Miguel Alacran Berchelt.
We have a headbutt, no additional cut. ¿Estás bien? ¿Necesito tiempo? ¿Estás bien?
Raul Caiz saying that there's been a headbutt.
Here we go, box.
Anyway, like I was saying, I thought Berchelt had a very, very big 6th round. I thought he hurt him badly in the 6th round, to tell you the truth. And I think that Vargas is just, the blood keeps going in his eyes, and it's really starting to bother him at this point. 4-2, Miguel Berchelt.
How could it not? And by the way, odds are that the right eye will open up at some point as well, given that it was also badly cut in the Salido fight. Berchelt's face, again, is holding up much better so far in the fight. Blood all over Miguel Berchelt's left ear. But that may be Vargas's blood.
Vargas has shown the ability to hurt Berchelt with that right hand, as he did earlier in the fight. And he may want to remind Berchelt about that right hand pretty soon.
At some point, he's going to have to.
Like, there it is.
He seems to have more power on the right hand, does Francisco Vargas, when he's able to fire it straight like that than when he rounds it out.
And Berchelt seems to have more power on his when he rounds it out
exactly.
than he does when it's straight.
A Berchelt
left hook lands for Berchelt.
Is the really dangerous looking weapon.
Yes, it is.
And his left hook has been a dominant weapon so far in the fight. Body shots by Berchelt. Good choice. Backs Vargas up against the ropes. Left hook again. Vargas trying to turn the tide with his right hand. Berchelt with a right hand of his own.
The action hero looks outgunned against a younger, bigger, stronger, harder punching contender. What does he do?
He definitely doesn't box.
There's a big obstacle in front of him right now.
Yes, it is.
Here we go. Again.
That was a good body shot by Vargas.
Let's not forget, against Miura, where he won the belt, Vargas looked like he was destined to be a knockout victim throughout a lot of that fight, and somehow turned it around just as it looked like he'd arrived at the moment of truth.
Five rounds to go. Miguel Berchelt in his first big appearance, his first major fight against a top-notch opponent, seems to be coming through. Outlanded Francisco Vargas by a small margin so far in the fight.
You got to touch the body, Berchelt. What's happening? Why aren't you doing it? Listen, Berchelt, please tell me yes or no. You can't go in and throw. You can't go in. If you're going in, you got to throw.
PC Berchelt with one hell of a combination. 1-2 to the body, hook to the head, right hand, hook to the body again. I mean, come on. Followed by another overhand right, another uppercut, a double hook on the left side, and then Vargas tells him, come on, bring me some more. And at the end of the round, you see Vargas land a beautiful left hook counter right there. Berchelt threw a right hand a little short and gave Vargas room, and he made him pay for it.
And Francisco Vargas was saying with that left hook, I'm not done yet, son. I'm still here.
I'm still big brother.
But Berchelt's jab knocks Vargas's back.
Oh, good right hand.
Good right hand.
And by the way, here's one small statistical indicator of where we may be heading. Berchelt, so far in the fight, is landing 55% of his power shots. And we've often said if you land 50% of your power shots, you're very likely to win the fight. Why does he land such a high percentage of his power shots? Because of that jab. Because of that jab right there.
That's what's setting everything up.
He sets it up. Rallied by Vargas.
Ken, the thing that makes Vargas special, that kind of next level will to win, beat this young kid that seems to have him outgunned.
I was about to say that neither fighter is throwing at full power in the 8th round, but that isn't the case anymore. They're unloading. Tremendous body shot by Francisco Vargas. Doesn't bother Berchelt
at all. Good body shot by Berchelt.
Straight right hand by Francisco Vargas.
That first fight, Miura and Mickey Roman, was a tremendous action fight that was not contested on this kind of skill level. This is somehow, to my lights, even better.
It is.
Oh, I agree. Again, the fights to which I'm comparing it, Rafael Marquez against Israel Vasquez, and Barrera versus Morales, those are world-class fights at the very top of the skill level available, and I think this is just like that.
This is the constant aggressive application of skill in the service of war.
Berchelt just does not stop coming.
One thing we have not mentioned, but should, the level of stamina that it takes to continue to perform at this level through 8 rounds headed to 12.
Berchelt landed 2 wicked body shots at the end of that round.
And there's Orlando Salido seated at ringside with a little bit of a pained look on his face. Maybe he's rooting for Francisco Vargas because that's what would set up perhaps the biggest fight and the biggest paycheck for him. And maybe he feels, as many do, that it's slipping away for El Bandito. Following boxing tonight, stay tuned to HBO for a replay of Real Sports. Don't miss the compelling and emotional story of Kevin Turner, a former NFL fullback who was diagnosed with the terminal disease ALS. Dr. Paul Wallace talking to Vargas about his eyes in the corner as his referee Raul Caiz.
Yes, 5 minutes.
So they're going to allow Francisco Vargas to continue in the fight. What about those bumps above the eyebrows, Roy?
Hematoma from the headbutt. Hematoma they call it, right?
Yeah, hematoma.
Yeah, hematoma from a headbutt.
Straight shots and then work the body. Work the body and finish up top.
So our great interpreter, Jerry Olaya, tells us that Dr. Paul Wallace told Francisco Vargas, you are taking too much punishment. But along with the referee, a decision was made to continue in the fight, let Vargas keep going, because he's fought too well, probably in their estimation, to be taken out at this moment. However, on Harold Letterman's unofficial scorecard, Berchelt is building his lead. Power punches coming into round 9, and Vargas has thrown 463 of them. Berchelt has thrown 433. Between them, they've landed 450 of them. So they're landing still at about a 50% rate, both of them, for power shots. But Berchelt is doing just a little better, just as his face looks better, just as his general energy and vitality looks a little better as we get to the 9th.
And he's the one pressing the fight for the most part.
It's very hard, Roy Jones, for judges not to score the blood. And the blood is all on Francisco Vargas.
Yeah, it's very difficult not to score the blood, especially when he's the one backing up. He's the one seemingly off balance. He's the one that's catching the brunt of the punches like that. Very difficult not to judge and say he's losing.
That blood is flowing now from that left eye.
I think it's
like a geyser.
Yeah, I think it's almost time to stop it now. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Yep.
That's a fight-ending cut right there. Vargas needs to do something dramatic here. Does he have the punching power to pull that off, Roy?
Nah, he doesn't right now. The doctor will stop this after the end of this round, I guarantee you.
Vargas is looking wobbly. He's not as steady on his feet as he was earlier in the fight. His punches are a little bit wild. He's not as accurate as he used to be. Berchelt is pouring it on.
And he has a minute, Vargas, right now, maybe, to try to turn this around. The ref is taking a very close look at that cut.
I've mentioned several times that before every fight, CompuBox provides us with a detailed statistical analysis, and they pick a winner in the fight.
This could be it, guys.
Francisco Vargas was the favorite.
Take a quick look at that cut. Time man, let's go. Box.
Francisco Vargas was the favorite, but the CompuBox analysis picked Berchelt to win the fight and suggested that it would be exactly like this. A rising tide, younger fighter, more energetic, coming down the stretch, punishing the star fighter, Francisco Vargas. And that's what's here going on right now. Francisco Vargas unbeaten coming into this fight. Berchelt with only one loss, and it was a first-round knockout. But Berchelt is making a name for himself here, win or lose.
And Vargas ain't going out. He's still throwing real shots. The doctor let this fight continue as bloody a mess as that cut is making Vargas' face. It must be wide but not really deep for the doctor to let it go.
The corner should stop up this round, I believe, next.
Nine rounds complete. 3 rounds to go, but can Francisco Vargas make it through 3 more rounds?
I don't think so, Jim.
Deep breath. Vargas, the fight is getting a little bit complicated. It's a bit complicated, Vargas. How are you feeling, son? We're down on the scorecards. It's very tight, Vargas. Very close.
In one corner, a star seems worn down by too many big rounds in too many great fights. And in the other corner, a star is born.
Doctor's going to take another look.
They have it well controlled, so we're okay.
So the condition of the cut is okay?
The condition of the cut is okay.
Okay.
You find that he's having blows from that side, not protecting himself.
Okay. Thank you. Here we go. Time
Roy,
in.
you
Let's go.
said you
Box.
don't think he can pull off the miracle comeback right now, Vargas. But if you thought he could, it wouldn't be a miracle comeback.
That's exactly right.
That's what he did against Miura. He needs another miracle like that to win this fight right now.
Harold, very quickly, how do you have it coming to the 10th?
Okay, Jim, 7 rounds to 2. 88-83, Miguel Berchelt.
Difference, Max, is Berchelt is a little bit more of a polished boxer than Miura was. Than Miura was, and he uses his feet very well, so he's going to be a much more difficult target to catch.
Yeah, not taking clean shots the way Miura was.
Right.
You know, when you talk about star quality and real talent, it's a loaded division. There are a lot of good fighters at 130 pounds, but the king of the hill is Vasily Lomachenko. We're always looking for the fighter who might be able to provide a test for Lomachenko, and right now, Miguel Berchelt is rising toward that status. He's the kind of guy who has the style that you want to see against Lomachenko. Aggression, power, speed, ongoing dominance.
That right hand opened up that cut again. I mean, the cut's never really closed, as the doctor told the referee. It's controlled.
Good body shot by Berchelt.
And you heard the referee also say, I believe, toward the end, if it's affecting his vision on that side, and the way the blood is flowing now, it seems like it is affecting his vision.
It has to be.
There's an expectation, certainly on the part of the governing body, whose belt was at stake here tonight, that the winner of this fight would fight the winner of the first fight, Takashi Miura, the former titleist in the division. I believe, if this turns out the way it seems to be going, that Miguel Berchelt would be favored over Takashi Miura.
You know what? I think Vargas may have done some good work to the body just then.
Not enough.
Yeah, Berchelt just keeps going. I thought he slowed Berchelt down momentarily.
Can't slow him down. He has little brother syndrome right now, Max. He sees the chance to take over the throne from the big brother. It'll take a complete knockout on his back to beat him right now.
Absolutely right. He knows that which he is on the verge of doing.
Right.
And he's going to go ahead and complete the job if he can.
Without a doubt.
A lot of times when Vargas's head seems to snap back, he's actually trying to look off, as they say, the right hand from Berchelt. Move his neck with it so that his head is moving of his own volition, not because of the right hand. It's just an avalanche from Berchelt. That might be all she wrote, Roy. We'll see if they allow Vargas out for the next round.
That should be all she wrote.
Cut man Rudy Hernandez goes back to work in Francisco Vargas's corner. He's done yeoman work already just to get him this far.
Come on, Vargas, we need a bit more. We need a bit more, Vargas. Are you good? Okay. But look up lively with those 10 seconds at the end. Gotta work some more. How are you? Hello?
Ready for round 11. A badly bloodied Francisco Vargas trying to find some way to pull out a miracle here in a fight which seems to have become something of a landslide against him. Brilliant performance by young Miguel Berchelt in his first fight at this level of competition. Vargas's accuracy is starting to slip. In the last round, he was down to 21%.
Good body shot.
I mean,
Berchelt is still landing half his punches.
Vargas's cut now, it's like his forehead is separating from the top of his eyebrow. That's a wide cut.
Yep. And because of the footwork that Berchelt has, I don't see him landing no one big shot to take Berchelt out. But this is one of those cases, Max, when you talk about maybe they should stop it, this is one that I think would be worth stopping because I don't see him winning this fight.
Well, we saw Miura win essentially with a body shot. And maybe Vargas would have to do the same here.
Like I said, in this fight, it's a totally different scenario because Berchelt is a guy who looked at Vargas as a big brother.
Tremendous left hook.
And he's not going to give it up to the big brother. He has the upper hand.
Harold Letterman, I have a question for you.
All right, Jim.
Given the state of Vargas's face, are you surprised that Dr. Wallace has allowed it to go this far?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if I were a referee, there's no question that I would stop the fight. The only thing that's going to happen now is Francisco Vargas is going to get hurt.
That's all.
I mean, he has no chance to win this fight. On the scorecards, he's getting beat up badly. Stop the fight.
All
the ref's about to.
He should have been stopped it.
Ref's about to.
Yep.
Some will question if it turns out the way we expect. If it turns out as it seems to be going, some will question, did Miguel Berchelt beat Francisco Vargas, or was it the combination of Miura, Salido, and Berchelt?
It was Berchelt's combinations.
Those body shots, my God. Stop the fight, ref, please.
Yeah.
Somebody throw the towel in or something.
And finally, Raul Caiz steps in and stops the fight.
That was a great performance by Berchelt.
Tremendous.
Vargas tried to show him many times that's not going to be enough, kid. And Berchelt never was discouraged in spite of the fact that he was hurt early upstairs, and Vargas never gave up. Berchelt just kept coming. In
spite of the fact that Berchelt had never been beyond the 6th round, had never faced an opponent at this level, had never been asked the kind of questions that a fighter like Vargas could ask him. And now we know a lot about Miguel Berchelt.
With the money on the line.
Raucous celebration going on in Berchelt's corner. And here are the replays of the end, Roy Jones.
Yeah, you see him coming. He just got the pressure on Vargas. Vargas' legs had given out already. He's off balance. Berchelt just keeping up the assault, not letting go. Head, body, just constantly on the attack. See, Vargas was trying to hang on.
That camera shot shows that at the moment that Caiz stopped it, the action was directly above us, just beyond the ropes. And I have to wonder whether Caiz heard you plaintively saying, stop the fight, stop the fight.
I don't know, but I hope he did, because he needed to stop it at that point. There was no way the kid could win the fight. The only thing that was left to happen was for him to suffer more damage.
Is Berchelt ready for the top fighters in the 130-pound weight class?
No, he still needs a few more fights before he gets to that point. He's pretty good, don't get it wrong, but he does a lot of things that people like Lomachenko will punish him for. Like he stays out over that front foot a lot, and he has a couple of little things that he has to do to tighten himself up so that he can be effective enough to make a great fight with a great fighter.
But he's a heck of an athlete in the ring. Let's go to Joe Martinez for the official particulars on the stoppage.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes of the official time. 2 minutes, 11 seconds. Rather, 2 minutes, 19 seconds into the 11th round. We have your winner by KO victory. He is now the new WBC Super Featherweight Champion of the world, the Scorpion, Miguel El Alacrán Berchelt.
Final CompuBox numbers, and once again, tremendous performance by Berchelt statistically. Look at that, 430 punches landed out of 947 thrown, an overall connect percentage of 45%, which means he was well above 50% with his power punches. Meanwhile, Francisco Vargas, despite the damage, was throwing all night, wound up throwing more than 1,000 punches. Total power punches, and you see Vargas, who